after receiving a $16 million Series A raise.
Given all the time that we spent solving data privacy at Evervault and building the data privacy infrastructure for developers, and after all that thinking and mulling over, the one thing we discovered is that data privacy is a really hard problem. It's been estimated that so far there's been 6.6 billion personal accounts hacked, and that includes some high-profile hacks like the Facebook, Equifax, and Capital One breaches. But every single day, data is going to places that we don't know about, and we just don't know how to stop it. With Facebook, for example, you can use a messenger chatbot to sue companies like Equifax for the data that they lost in court in New York or California through a really simple interface. So it's causing real financial and brand damage to companies that suffer these breaches. And the reality is everyone cares about data privacy, and it's not something that compliance teams and companies or your average consumer are thinking about all the time. They just want to be using the product that they signed up for or paid for. And that's pretty sad, but the reality is because no one wants to care about it, someone else has to think about the solution for them. Privacy isn't something that should slow people who are building products down. It should be something that's a given and a baked in feature of everything that people are building. Privacy is a feature of these products, and given that it should be the same, it should be as easy to integrate as something like Stripe for payments or any of these other kind of APIs or developer tools that you use when you're building an application, whether it's for deploying your app to the cloud or importing a library for data storage. Privacy should be as simple as that. You should just be able to import something like privacy.js and have a service like Evervault or any other company look after the rest for you. It should be baked into the software stack from day one. Overall, the data privacy toolkit so far is just really terrible. It's clear that no one has spent much time thinking about it, very much, if at all, and someone does need to do that. And it's not your average developer. Average developers are best at creating features that people want and features that people care about. So we think the things that matter most for developers are things like authentication and what we call privacy cages. Privacy cages are basically cloud environments that let you put your own source code in, process encrypted data, and not have to worry about where that information goes in the end. And you know that the data isn't leaking to a third-party service or that you're going to get caught up in a data breach long term. It's something that people should just be able to bake in, deploy, and forget about. The interface itself should be something really simple, just like what we've got here, where you run through a simple flow in a command line, put in your email and password, deploy your source code, and the rest is looked after. You shouldn't have to worry about how it scales, how it's processed, and someone else should just be doing all that thinking for you. In general, with privacy itself, we wrote 8 rules for how we think the industry should see data privacy as a problem. We don't really care whether other people are kind of baking this into their products necessarily, but we hope that the industry in general thinks about the problem in this way. And all of the products that we build have the Pragmatic Privacy Manifesto fed into it from day one. So that's something that we think a lot of people should think about. You can find the manifesto on our website, but aside from that, thank you.